As a debt collection lawyer, a question that I get all the time when people are sued for debts is, should I fight this or should I just pay it? Now, I think that it's important to know that what you shouldn't say is, well, I might as well try and fight it because either way I'm going to have to pay if I lose or if I pay it now. So I should just go ahead and fight and see if I can get away with not having to pay it. That is the wrong analysis in most cases. And the reason for that is attorney fees. Attorney fees can really change the outcome of a case and can really change the calculus of whether you should fight or whether you should pay. And it is one of the biggest pitfalls that I see people get into when they are dealing with a debt collection case. Now, first I want to answer for you, what are attorney fees? So attorney fees are awarded to usually a winning party in a case. Now, they're not awarded necessarily in every case, and the rules or the laws on when you can win attorney's fees differ in every state. But generally speaking, attorney's fees are usually only given when there is a legal basis for it, and that legal basis is usually, it's written into the contract. So if you go get like a payday loan or you sign the paperwork at the doctor's office, that paperwork has an attorney fee provision in there. And it's going to say, if we have to sue you to come after the money that you owe us, you agree that you are going to have to pay attorney's fees on top of that as well. Now, these attorney's fees can obviously get really expensive. You're going to have a lawyer charging $200, $300, sometimes even more dollars an hour, and you're going to be on the hook for that. So the longer the case goes on, the more money you could actually have to pay. And that's the problem. So in a lot of times, if you don't have a lot of good defenses for the debt, it's going to actually be cheaper for you to pay it now than it is to pay later. So if you have a, let's say, $2,000 debt, you can pay the $2,000 now. Or if you go to court and lose, you're going to pay $2,000 plus you're going to pay all the attorney's fees. And if it takes a $200 an hour attorney 10 hours to win that case, that's going to be an additional $2,000. It's essentially going to double the debt that you owe. So how do you know if attorney's fees apply in your case? Well, first of all, you're going to look at the original contract or the original agreement that you have with the creditor. And there's probably going to be a provision in there that says something like attorney's fees or collection fees or something like that. It's also important to note, and I'm not really talking about this in this video today, that interest is going to work the same way as well. The longer the case goes on, the interest is going to be there. So when you look at the contract, you're going to be looking, well, is there interest? What do I owe on the interest? And you're going to be looking at the attorney's fees. Am I going to be on the hook for attorney's fees as well? It can be a little difficult to forecast the attorney's fees because the attorney they hire may charge different amounts, may spend different amounts of time on things, but you can kind of estimate somewhere between $200 and $300 an hour is probably common for this type of debt collection work. But, again, it could be higher, so, don't necessarily stick to that. Now, how do you know how this is going to impact your case? What you need to do is, if you've determined, yeah, there are attorney's fees that are going to be applicable to this case, you need to figure out, okay, if I take this case all the way, how long could that take and what could the impact of the attorney fees be? It would not be uncommon in a debt collection case to see something like 20, 25, 30 hours if you went all the way through trial. Now, of course, early on in the case, that's going to be a lot lower. It's going to be the attorney's going to get the file, they're going to review it, they're going to draft a complaint, they're going to serve a summons, they're going to review your answer. And that's only going to take a couple of hours, most likely. So your impact there is relatively low. But that's the time when you need to be engaging the debt collector on settlement. If the longer you wait, the more they're going to claim, and the harder it's going to be to get a settlement for the original amount of the debt. The easiest time to get a settlement is going to be when there's lower attorney fees, and that's going to be earlier in the case. Of course, all this is negotiable, right? If you can get the other side to agree to waive the attorney fees, if you'll pay in full, that's great. My experience has been they will hold you up on those attorney's fees or at least a portion of them, though. So, obviously, if you're thinking that you want to get it settled, earlier is better than later. But of course, always try and get them down, though. Now, what should you do if you've got a debt collection case or you're being threatened with debt collection and you determine, yeah, attorney's fees might apply? Get on the phone with the debt collector or the attorney on the case and start negotiating. Obviously, you want to start negotiating from a position of strength. You can still use the same arguments that you would use if you went to court against the debt collector in your negotiation to drive that amount down. Sometimes a debt collector will say, well, okay, I'll lower the amount of attorney's fees that I'll include on here in order to settle the case, but I'm going to require a higher monthly payment or a higher upfront payment or something like that. Get creative in your settlement offers and your settlement negotiations, but just know that it's not going to be as easy as saying, here's the amount of the debt. I might as well try and fight because I've got nothing to lose, because you do have something to lose. You've got the attorney's fees that could really increase the amount of the debt really fast. Now, if you need more help with your debt collection case, head to debtbrief.com. What I've got for you there is I've got forms like an answer. We've got written discovery. We've got motion forms. You can use those in your case if you are fighting. Maybe you can't get the deal done early and you've got to fight it and take that debt collector on. Use those forms. They're applicable to all states. Comes with a little ebook that will give some explanation on how you can defend your case. If you need even more help, you can head to debtbrief.com and sign up for our live course. I can meet you on a video call. I can coach you and teach you how a debt collection case works from beginning to end, explain all the forms that you'll need to use, and basically teach you how you can defend your case by yourself so that you don't need a lawyer. A lot of people that come to me, they say, I've tried to talk to lawyers, none of the lawyers would help me. So what I do is, instead of giving you the legal advice or working your case, I teach you what these lawyers know so that you can do it on your own. So head to debtbrief.com to learn more, and I look forward to working with you.